I forgot to mention in the last video, I did get a haircut. That's what's going on. That's what all this is. It's beautiful. I know. I look so beautiful. So, I've been off the channel for reasons I explained, and now I'm going to get back into the swing of things. I thought I'd start reviewing another movie series, even though I'm not finished with The Hobbit. I know. I'm taking a break right now. I'll get back into it pretty soon, probably in the next couple days. I also got a bunch of other movies now to watch. And, yeah, I wanted to talk about not the Hobbit, not the Battle of Fire Armies. Gosh, my mind is still set on this. Probably will need to watch them tomorrow by that logic. But let's talk about Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. One of my favorite movies ever made. First off, how does a movie based on a theme park ride turn out this good? It just doesn't. It's surprising it did. Every other time Disney's attempted it is blown up amazingly so. And we'll see how Jungle Cruise turns out. I think that one actually has potential to be a moneymaker. But I'm not sure, but we'll see. But I'm okay with the kind of idea of taking the ride. But I would say this is loosely adapted from the ride. There are references to the ride, but it's not about the concept of the ride. And so I think with that logic, they built a story just around the idea of there being pirates. That's basically it. And this movie's now become iconic. People love it. I think this movie is masterfully directed by Gore Babinski. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but if you look up the director of the Pirates of the Caribbean, it's Gore, whatever his last name is. I'll call him Babinski, because he has a very hard name to pronounce. I think it's Gore Binsky. I don't know. I'm not even gonna attempt it. And he makes this movie really well directed. It's a master of its tone. There are so many dark, creepy moments and just really comedic moments and serious moments and action-packed moments that all blend together, and they all feel perfectly put into the correct spot where they belong. And so I'm laughing at the points I'm supposed to be laughing at. I'm engaged in the action. I'm concerned when people are being or where people are in danger, when certain things happen, the emotional moments. I'm engaged. I'm engaged through this entire movie. It's completely engaging. The pacing is excellent. Also, a lot of the effects work is pretty excellent. Not all of it. A lot of the dead pirate stuff is the CG around it is very, very dated. It's not horrible. It was good for the time, but not anymore. It just doesn't look good now, but it looks good enough, and it the way some of the effects and some of the shots work, the more practical stuff, looks phenomenal, and I still think it's very believable to this day. I love some of that work. I also think a lot of the makeup and the costumes are very good, and they add to this time period that the movie set, and I think it works really well. I also think all the performances from people like Keira Knightley and Johnny Depp. I mean, everybody loves Jack Sparrow, but, I think all these characters in the story are necessary to make it work. It's not just about Jack Sparrow, and you can't make a movie just about Jack Sparrow. It just does not work. Believe me, they tried with the fifth Pirates movie. It did not work. But it is somehow so well put together and so good that it's honestly unbelievable. It's almost like this movie was like a lightning in the bottle freak accident movie, because it's so good with the score, the lighting, the effects, the way it's shot, some of the cinematography. I mean, actually a lot of the cinematography is actually pretty good and doesn't go that well noticed. A lot of the dialogue and scripting and the choreography of some of the action scenes are just phenomenal. I think almost all the action scenes are pretty well choreographed. I think just so many people involved clearly loved what they were doing, because this was not a movie that Disney wanted to make. This is actually a movie that was being made, and the people involved, they kept trying to shut down this production, but Baginski, whatever you say, however you say his freaking name, and all the people involved wanted this to be this way. You know, they didn't want Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. I know, that's crazy. I forgot who they wanted, but, you know, this was clearly a passion project, and it just had the right people, you know, actually having a love for what they're doing and making an excellent movie in the process. And I think that's something that was kind of lost in the second movies. If I do have a criticism for this movie, it's more so for the second movie, when they keep mentioning that Will's Turner's dad throughout the movie, when you know the reveal in the second movie, it just doesn't make sense. But when I review the second movie, whenever that is, no promises, whenever it happens, it happens. It is better explained there. But yeah, I mean, overall, still a great movie. I mean, there's no real major flaws with this movie. This is one of those movies where I think it's pretty much completely perfect. Besides a couple of scenes slowing down at pace. But they're not enough to drag the movie down or for it to even really be that noticeable. It's kind of really a nitpick, honestly. But yeah, it's a great movie. Check it out if you've never seen it. I mean, these Pirates movies are loved by everyone. But this is the best one out of all of them for a reason, and always will be, because the passion and love just shows throughout this entire film.